What's up? It's your boy Vibes by Bray, because I'm always bringing you the good vibes, and you're tuned in to M5678, the podcast, where we go beyond the steps and discuss everything dance industry related. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7,
8. You're tuned into M5678, the podcast with Vibes by Bray, only on YouTube. Broadcasted by Riverside.fm.
So on today's episode, we have the one and only Jarrett Weathers.
What's good?
All right, what's up, Jarrett? Can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
What's good? What's good? What's good? My name is Jarrett Weathers. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. Currently living in Atlanta, Georgia now. I'm a professional choreographer and a dancer. And yeah, I'm good. I'm happy to be here, man.
Okay, that's what's up. So what brought you to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue dance?
So simply just because of that reason. Ever since I was a boy at 4 years old, I always wanted to dance. I saw myself doing backup dancing for like Chris, Michael Jackson, Usher, all the big name artists, Missy and everything, coming from a small, big city of Indianapolis. You got talent, but it's not a lot of opportunity, especially in the entertainment industry. So, was blessed to do a lot there, but I pursued more and wanted more. So I knew it was time for me to travel. So I tried, LA and everything, but it was just too expensive and I was young. So Atlanta was that next move. And once God told me to move, I just moved. And by his grace, I've been doing it ever since.
That's what's up. Yeah, I definitely feel that. So I actually have had the pleasure of meeting Jarrett through the Push Mentorship Program. That was my first time ever seeing Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, you really surprised me because like you move like, and you know how you see people and sometimes you can think they can only do freestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You can freestyle, you can catch choreo, you can create, like you can literally do it all. And I was completely amazed. And every time I like see you hit the stage or I see you create something, I'm just moved by what you do. So I can definitely appreciate that. And I've definitely learned a lot from being around you. So yeah, that's definitely dope.
That's
no
humbling.
No problem.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, dog. That's mad humbling. Thank you, dog.
No problem. So what I want to ask you first, I want to ask you what motivates you as far as dancing is concerned.
It's a great question. What motivates me? Oh, okay. So I have a very deep passion when it comes to arts and especially dance. I'm a storyteller naturally. And although I may not be as great with my words a lot of times, and not necessarily that I don't say the right thing, it's more about expressing or sharing or releasing exactly what I want to say all the time through words. So dance and movement has always been that one thing that's been able for me to release and actually say what I want to say. The certain song, the vibe of the song, the energy that the artist is probably given from that song that I do take in and receive, and then being the vessel to just use it in a more visual and physical aspect to bring it to life. It's always been best for me. So motivationally, like seeing the risk and the limits that I'm able to take and kind of go over in order to make it come to fruition is what motivates me. And then also, like, how can I inspire somebody just through the creation that I'm coming up with, or I'm, being told to, or moved to make, just seeing where I can take dance, basically, like, rather than making it just like something just fun and it's cute to look at, but then it being something more powerful and has a message or a story to tell. And, whether it's from turn up to something more sentimental or sad or personal, I don't know. It's just, I love seeing the limits that dance takes and being a part of that movement to see where it can go and beyond, basically. But yeah, and then just whoever I can inspire and just like kind of like preach more life into to see them excel. my students or people around me or my peers, kind of like what you just said. Like, if I have that ability to spark someone else and give them that type of drive and energy and see them like excel, that motivates me a lot and lets me know that I'm doing my job. So,
Okay, that's definitely dope. So what side of the spectrum do you prefer to be on? Do you prefer to
mm.
be on the creative side or do you prefer to be on the stage?
Man, you got some good questions. um, I would say both, but where my heart is honestly creating. Um, I love being in the creative spot where I can, you know, think of a vision or a piece and I can see and I can put bodies in there and tell bodies what to do. And I'm just orchestrating it like I'm the painter and I'm making the canvas as I'm going. May not like this line, so I'll just paint over it. Then I start a whole different design, but it's connecting to the old design that I have, and I may keep this color, and I may stop this design and go into a different one on top of it. And it's how I'm orchestrating this canvas to where the masterpiece is done. I just love doing that. But I also love being the person or the tool that's also on stage that's bringing the masterpiece to life as well. So it's a little mixture of both. But if I had to really pick and choose one, it would definitely be on the creative side. Being in that driver's seat and just able to just orchestrate things, it's just, I don't know, it's a gift that a lot of people aren't. Um, it's not that people can't do it, but some people are just very much gifted and blessed with it. And so to be one of those people that has that, it's it's very appreciative, and I'm thankful. So,
So how do you balance being the creator and dancing in your own piece?
mm,
Because that's something that for me, that's something that I used to struggle with.
mm-hmm,
So I started taking a step back as a choreographer. I was like, I want to start being the choreographer that is not necessarily in those pieces because I feel like for me, I can enjoy it better when I'm creating it and then I'm
mm-hmm,
sitting back and I'm watching and I can make those corrections and not have the hassle or the struggle of trying to do both.
true.
So how do you balance that?
One thing that keeps me uh grounded, first and foremost, is never stop being a student. If you have that mentality of, you're always a student, you're always able to learn, you're always putting yourself in position to learn or to be taught, you'll never ever feel like one is outweighing the other. It will still be an even balance either way. So whether I'm taking class or I'm in part of someone else's piece or project, or I may be doing my own project, but I'm also, being the dancer in it as well. I'm learning in every single area or room that I'm in, whether I'm the one that's teaching or I'm being taught, whether I'm the one that's putting things together or I'm being in the room to be put into places for this person's choreo piece or project or set to be created. I'm learning in these spaces every single time, no matter if I'm the teacher or the student. So when I have that balance, it just keeps me grounded and humble to where I can switch both sides. So I could, you know, be creating and then also I can still be dancing. And it's not too much. And I'm not necessarily looking at it in the lens of, well, I enjoy this more than that. So I'm just going to put more energy into that and kind of disband that. Nah, you can feed both. There's ways to do that. But the one thing that does keep that balance is just understanding that you're a student in either way. And if you stay in that mentality, it's not necessarily that you're not good enough to be the teacher. Teachers have to still learn. Teachers have to still sharpen their, skills. Everybody does. None of us is perfect. So as long as you have that mentality and you move by that, it keeps you on your toes and keeps you sharpened. So that way, no matter what space or who does come into your energy or your space that you have to work with, you know who to
Yeah.
work with and how to work with everything and balance it all out. So
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely dope. So how long have you been in Atlanta?
I'm approaching a year and a half
Okay.
next month.
You've definitely been doing your biggest one since you've been there. So my next question for you would be, since being in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
I know I've seen you around doing different training programs and mentorships. Is there any specific program that you feel like has benefited you the most from being a part of?
Mm-hmm. Um, I would say Kiki's The Room. I gotta give
Okay.
a shout out to Kiki. When I did The Room, and I did speak on this too. I've done like Build a Beast in LA when I was part of I'm a Beast. Shout out to my boy Will. You know, like you said, me and you started off in Gary's program, the push
Mhm. The push, yeah.
mentorship. And you know, shout outs to Gary. But when it came to Kiki's The Room, I think that was the first time I was actually part of something to where it gave you training to actually be on a job. And that's
Mhm.
something that is very important that I think dancers, especially working dancers or aspiring working dancers, should be a part of. Because a lot of times, especially if you coming from where I come from, where you don't have access to that, you're not access to a lot of dance studios or agencies, you're not access to a lot of people with mentorship programs or people who are actually in the industry currently, whether booking or being booked. You don't know the ins and outs of what it means to not only just be in the room, how to stay in the room, and then how to conduct yourself and what to do when you're on the job. So to get that like extensive training and full in-depth training of learning the piece, getting hired, going into rehearsals, learning your rehearsals, and then the next day you're shooting for 10 plus hours, it's good training to get you in get you ready and prepared for when that actual job actually happens, and to see how fast things just move. Because a lot of times when you come from cities like mine or small towns, you know, we think, oh, we just got time, we'll have plenty of rehearsal, no, you don't. You have right then and there.
Right
Get
there
it
and there. And a lot of
right.
people don't know that.
If they don't know that, it's like you got to get it right then and there. You got to hop right in and adapt. You have to learn exactly what your role is, play your role, and do your role the way you need to, and then you have to execute. And on top of that, you have to still show and come on time. You have to be attentive and like focused the whole time. You have to learn how to be professional in the midst of that, even on the downtimes. You know, showing your personality, but also not doing too much to where this is a little too much off of professional grounds. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Learning and understanding your choreographer, your directors, your producers, learning and understanding the behind the scenes, where you at in camera, how the camera shots being made, being ready, having your dance bag set with different outfits just in case they change things up. Being able to adapt even if they change things 30 seconds before they actually hit play. Like you have to, it teaches you or puts you in that mindset to where, all right, this is the real thing.
Right.
And how are
Yeah.
you preparing yourself to handle the real thing? Because, you know, it's one thing to say that you want this, but once you get it, how do you keep it? And how do you set yourself apart to say that you deserve to be there and to keep that job? So that definitely was the most, like, in my opinion, the most beneficial mentorship. Not saying that any other mentorship wasn't beneficial, but that one, because I am a working choreographer and dancer, that did cater to what training that I needed for what I am doing
Exactly.
currently. So
Yeah, that definitely makes sense because I definitely feel the same way. That's actually um, the same exact way I feel about the room. That has been my favorite. I've done a lot of different mentorships in Atlanta, but that one definitely is the one that I feel like put what I wanted to do into perspective. Because I've always been creating, but when I did that one, that's when it was like, oh no, I only want to create. Like I just feel so much joy when it comes to like creating, choreographing, and to see Kiki light up the way that she did, to see her light up the way she did, when we brought her vision to life, that's a feeling that you can't really describe. It's just something that's just so dope. And
mhm.
that, like I said, it put it in perspective for me and definitely made me want to put myself out there more as a choreographer and creator. So I definitely agree with you on that as far as the room is concerned. So definitely shout out to Kiki. Now,
Big shout
before, yeah, big shout out.
out.
So, before we get into our next segment, I do want to take a minute to shout out my sponsor, 5678, that sponsored my shirt today.
Come
Cater
on, come
Co.
on.
Yes, Cater Co. It is streetwear for dancers. Very comfortable. It's dope. If you like what you see here today, you can check out the link below and you can use my discount code BRAVEN to get 10% off of your order of $25 or more. All right. So now this is our segment, the moment that everybody's been waiting for, right? So this is where the curtains close and the spotlights turn off. Let's get to the point. All right. So
Come on, ad-libs, man. I'm with it, man. I love it.
thank you, thank you. All right, so Jarrett, you are now you're a booking dancer, right?
I am.
So can you tell everybody what you are currently working on and who you work for?
Yes, I am a dancer choreographer for Key Sweat currently. Been
Okay.
with him, which is funny that you brought up the push. When I actually started the push, I was only at the push for maybe 2 weeks, if that,
Mm,
and then immediately was snatched off for the New Edition Legacy Tour, and I
okay.
choreographed and danced for a guy in a Key Sweat. Shouts out to Teddy Riley. Shouts out to One Staff Management and One Stop Management, and them picking me up and blessing me with my first ever tour, first ever gig, major artist gig, two major artist gigs, and yeah, I've been with them since. It's been literally a year, going on a year and some change now that I've been with them. So it's been a blessing. It's been all God favor, and yeah,
That's dope. That's dope. So what is your favorite thing about, so you are choreographer and you dance on that, right?
correct. Yes, sir.
That's
Correct.
awesome. So what's your favorite thing about being on this gig?
Um, Besides, of course, being around the crazy camp, uh, traveling. I love to travel. So being able to go to different cities, seeing different people,
Mm,
selling out different arenas, stages, casinos, venues, and just being on that stage every single night, just doing what I love to do, doing what I know God blessed me to do. That's a joy and a rush that I would never trade in for the world. It's special. It's something about that just gets me going like inside. Like
yeah.
it's just like, man, like I've dreamt of this since I was a kid, and then to be in a position to where I can do that on a regular basis is
Hmm.
it's truly a dream come true. Like it's all the no's, all the hard work, all the tears, all the pain, all the
Yes.
aches and the injuries. It just makes up for it. It just makes sense. So I would say that for sure.
So as a dancer, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you have learning or even maybe still learning from this experience?
Um, Being punctual is important. I can honestly say when I first started, I had to learn that. I had to learn
Mm,
some different habits of myself that I had to stop in order for me to make sure I was in the right position to, take care of my job, because it is a job at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And so, your performance, not only on stage, is not the only thing that's looked at. It's also off the stage, and honestly, a lot of times it's off stage where it matters the most. So
Yeah.
making sure that your things are in line, making sure you understand your contracts, making sure you understand your call times, you're on time. On time is not on time. On time is 15, 30 minutes early. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Making sure you have your wardrobe cleaned and put together, and you're not missing a piece, or you're one step ahead, your whole show, so that way if anything does changes, you are able to pick up or know everybody else's position, or cues or things. Like if you know your show, you're straight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's different things that I've just been learning and taking in, and just helping me grow and expand, not only just as a performer and a creator, but as an artist and as a man. It's just humbling me and kind of making me more mature as I go on. So I do appreciate that.
Okay, that's dope. So did you get to pick the dancers or did you have to audition with everybody else and then you just kind of fell into the choreographer role? Like how did that play out for you?
So when I got the call, they actually put the responsibility on me to go and find the guy dancers. So who
Okay.
I've choreographed for is mainly the guys, adding us into what was already choreographed and created for the girls. but I did also still choreograph some things that we did partner wise with the girls, just correlating and basically mixing in what they already have, which is not too much to where it's too much for them to learn, but it was just something for us to have to incorporate, and it just all makes together and meshes together for the show basically. And thank God that it actually worked, and it still is working. So yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So, this is something that you could see yourself doing for other artists
Oh,
going
definitely,
forward, I'm assuming.
definitely. I've been in full manifestation mode as of late, waiting on my next artist, of course, that I would
Okay.
have full reign on. But nah, I definitely see this is what I see myself doing for the rest of my life for sure. Um, like I said earlier, like it's a gift and a blessing to be able to have this ability and this privilege,
Yeah.
because I always take blessings as privileges from God. Like, just this is a privilege that I know God has blessed me with, and a gift that He's blessed me with. And when I get the opportunity and chance to do that and share that, or put in a position to do that, I never take it for granted or give less than of myself. So yeah, it's definitely appreciated.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Okay, so who is your dream artist to work with? I'm gonna
Mm,
I'm gonna let you give me a top three. I'm gonna let you give me a top three. Who your
just
top
top
three
three.
dream artists? Yeah, just
Okay.
top three.
Um. Okay. How about this? I'm gonna do top three of artists that currently have dancers, and then I'm gonna do a top three that don't, that I feel like should, that I'm also in
Okay, I'll
manifestation
let
that
you
they
have
will.
that. I'll let you have that.
My top three, of course, is Chris, Usher, Justin Timberlake,
Okay.
and then my top three that don't is Kenyon Dixon, Aaron Ray, Jack James. I truly feel like
Ooh.
those three artists, if they have dancers, like they already are like their performances and their shows that they have now and their music is just already
Mm-hmm.
great. But adding dancers and a visual like presentation to that is just take
Right.
that to the moon and beyond. Like, it's just I just know it would set it off. But just putting it in the air, good
Yeah.
gracious, it'll happen. But yeah.
And we're
Oh,
gonna make
and
sure
T
they see
Pain.
this.
And T
T
Pain.
T
I can't
Pain
forget about T Pain. Yes,
T
T Pain.
Pain. I don't think that people realize that T Pain is the GOAT that he is. I'm putting it out there. I don't think that people realize that. Did you see his new drop that he just
Yes,
put out?
yes, yes.
I just don't think that people know that he's as dope as he is.
That
People
song is
sleep on
just
T-Pain.
that song
But
just does
yes,
something to me. Like, it was so
yeah.
beautiful. Like, working with that song, like it does something to me. Like, I love that song so
And
much.
T-Pain can dance. And T-Pain can dance. So if he had dancers as well,
Listen, if you
it'll
have you
be a
seen his
wrap.
show, lately with like just him on stage,
Like just him performing.
just him, like him and
I
his band. Like, he is a one man show for
Oh
sure.
yeah, for sure.
Like, energy from start to finish, just
Yeah.
bananas. Like, dancing, singing every single word, not lip
Mm-hmm.
syncing. Yeah, like it's an amazing show
Yeah,
to
he's
watch.
definitely it. So now, do you have any final words or words of advice for aspiring dancers?
Hmm. As in, just like regular advice, or is it pertaining to anything?
No, anything, nothing specific, just anything that you feel like an aspiring dancer should know. Any words of wisdom that you have from your own experience, or just somebody who may be looking to get into dancing, or somebody who wants to
Hmm.
be professional but don't really know the right steps to take. What would your word of wisdom be for them?
It's a good question. Of course, people would say, never give up. Keep fighting. Figure out what you want to do. Of course, those are cliche things. I'm going to
Mhm.
actually do a 180 on people, and I'm going to tell them, first and foremost, keep God first. It's very, very important to me. My faith is very important to me. And if I had more time, I would definitely tell you my whole life story and tell you why my faith is important to me. But I always tell people dance and God and prayer are the main things that kept me alive, but also doing this and being in the position that I am in. Um,
Mhm.
I can honestly say that, through God's grace and will, like, I am where I am today. And I never take it for granted to say, oh, I'm self-made. I did this by myself. And no, I didn't. I'll be lying to you through and through. And that ain't even how I'm cut. You know what I mean?
Right.
But keeping God first in everything that you're doing. When I say everything, I mean everything. Even if it's something as slight as, God, do I wear those shoes? Or do I wear those shoes? Do it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
like his guidance and you putting him first on whatever it is that you are, manifesting or putting out there that you want to accomplish or you want to uh, make happen. Without his guidance and without him being in control, of course, it's not going to be done. And then also, he gives you abundance of what that is that you are praying for and manifesting. So, in order for you to not only succeed and get that certain thing, there'll be plenty more other doors that's actually opening right behind it or setting you up for the next thing or the next artist or things for a longevity rather than being a quick thrill and then it's done and now you're back on the shelf and you're just
Mm-hmm.
wondering, scrambling for the next thing. So, keep God first. No matter if it's from an audition to a job to even just an idea of a project, if you keep him first, I promise you, he's never going to steer you wrong. He's never going to put you in a position nor give you something that you cannot handle. He's never going to put you into a room or to a space that you're not going to learn from or grow from, let alone lose your mind from. He's not going to do that. He's going to take care of you and supply your needs as long as you keep him first. And whatever
Mm-hmm.
is blessed to you, if you give it back to him, like I said, he gives it to you in surplus, in abundance, no matter what. Also, when it comes to the dancing side, stop trying to look at everybody else and just focus on your path and your journey. Be okay where you at. It is okay. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a race. It's a marathon. So as long as you keep moving, you'll eventually get to that destination, that finish line of where you want to go. But you have to keep moving. You don't have to sprint to get there. You may see other people passing you, and that's okay. They just in their stride. You ain't hit yours yet. But once you hit your stride and you hit your win and it's time for you to accelerate, I promise you, you'll start seeing yourself doing this while they're still staying here. It's just how it happens. But understand that you're in a marathon. So the time that you're meant to get to your finish line and get to that dream or to that job or to that gig, you'll get there. You'll just get there when God says it's time for you to get there and he accelerates you
Amen.
there. And also when you're ready. So yeah, I would just say that, like, to get back to aspiring dancers and yeah, the cliche, never give up. I've been
Right.
in many times where I thought of giving up, but that's when also God came and spoke to me. Because even in the midst of those like times where I was like, man, this ain't paying my bills, man. I'm not hearing anything, or I keep hearing no, and
Right.
I don't know where the next thing is coming, or I feel like everybody's gatekeeping jobs and I'm not getting the calls and my friends are turning their back and none of that. I just give up. I just want to give up. Even in the midst of that, I kept God in it. And God has a funny way and a sense of humor to say, oh, you give up? Well, that's funny because I had this for you. So here you go. So what you gonna do? You still gonna give up? Are you not?
Exactly.
That's what I
He
thought. You
has
know
a
what I'm
funny way of
saying?
showing up. He has a funny way of showing up and showing
Exactly.
out.
Amen.
Definitely. Well, I definitely appreciate you for coming through. Can you tell everybody where they can find you on social media platforms?
Yes, yes. You can definitely find me on Instagram at idance_dope life. That's IDANCE_DOPELIFE. Facebook, Jarrett Weathers. YouTube, J, the letter J, and then Weathers. Yeah, that's where I'll be on. That's where I'm at. You can just find me there. I do follow back. I do show love. I'm always open for advice and anything. So never hesitate to answer me. Like I promise you, I'm not no celebrity or none of that. I am a regular person. I am an honest, true, humble guy. I'm goofy as hell too. So trust me, I'm good. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And I appreciate you too, Braven. Like real talk, I love what you're doing. I want to give a big shout out and love to you and blessings to you, man, and your podcast.
Thank you. I
Hoping nothing but
appreciate you.
success coming, man. Keep this going. We need this for the community. We need people like you in the community where you're shining light and giving flowers to people now. I even said a post like recently, like, man, give me the flowers now, not when I'm in a casket and I can't smell them. You know what I'm saying? So
That's real.
keep doing this now, bro, because people need this. You feel me? Like this touched my spirit today. So thank you, dog.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So that does conclude this episode of N5678 the podcast. It is your boy Vibes by Bray. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Vibes by Bray and stay updated with our latest episodes at N5678 podcast. And here's your daily reminder to always dance like nobody's watching and love like it's never gonna hurt. I also want to give a special shout out to Rager Worldwide and Cater Code Dancewear.